So good evening, everyone. We shortly begin our evening ceremony. Today we recite in English, and we will recite the Amitabha Sutra. The Buddha color of gold. Freezing to death, we did not skin. Starving to death, we not beg. Dying of poverty, we ask for nothing. We are born with conditions, we did not change. We do not change or accord with conditions. We adhere firmly to our three great principles. We renounce our lives to do the Buddha's work. We mold our destinies as a basic duty. We rectify our lives to the Sangha's role. In other specific matters, we understand the principles. Understand the principles, we apply to specific matters. We carry on the single pulse of the patriarch's mind transmission. Ask myself, do I fight? Ask myself, am I greedy? Ask myself, do I seek? Ask myself, am I selfish? Ask myself to pursue personal advantage. Ask myself, do I lie? Ask myself, to eat only 1 meal a day. Ask myself to always wear my precept sash. These form traditions of the treasury city of 10,000 Buddhas, and no one can change them. Incense in the censer now is burning. All the Dharma and we see the fragrance. From afar the sea vast cause of Buddhas, all in holy sweetness. In every place of speech as clouds appear. I are sincere tensions thus fulfill. As all Buddhas I now shoulder body I namo such cloud abiaivo bodhisattva I'm a sattva I namo Sans glageno abiaivo bodhisattva I'm a Sastvagena Abhyaibo Bodhisattva Aima Sattva. Namo Sifas Lotus Pool Assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Namo Sifas Lotus Pool Assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Namo Sifas Lotus Pool Assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. The Sutra of the Buddha's teaching on Amitabha. Thus I've heard, once the Buddha Shakyamuni was staying at the Jeta Grove beyond the Pantika's Parga 1,250 members of the Bhikshu Sangha had gathered with him. All of them eminent arhats known for their higher knowledge. Elder Shariputra was there with other great disciples, such as Mahamagdayana, Mahakashyapa, Mahakatayana, Mahakashtila, Rivata Shuddhipantaka, Nanda, Rahula Galambati, Pindra Bradavaja, Kalavid Mahakapina, Vakula Niruddha. The Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas were also there. Dharma Prince Manjushri, Bodhisattva Ajita, Bodhisattva Gandhastin, Bodhisattva Nidukta, and so forth, together with Chakra chief among Devas, as well as multitudes from the heavens, just as spoke to her the Shariputra, saying, west of here, beyond trillions of Buddha lands, there is the land called utmost happiness. In that land at this very moment, a Buddha named Amitabha is teaching the Dharma. Shariputra, why is this land called utmost happiness? The beings of this land never suffer. They're always happy. And so this land is called utmost happiness. Moreover, Shariputra, this land of utmost happiness is surrounded by 7 tiers of railings, 7 layers of netting, and 7 rows of trees. All of them formed from 4 kinds of treasures. For that reason, too, this land is called utmost happiness. Moreover, Shariputra, the pools of this land are made of the 7 treasures, and filled with water adorned with fine qualities. Golden sand lines the bottom of every pool, and each is surrounded by stairways made of gold, silver, verdure, and crystal. Their pavilions adorned with gold, silver, verdure, crystal, grand clamshells, rubies, and carnelian. Lotus flowers as large as skirts will fill these pools. The blue flowers shine with blue light. The yellow flowers shine with yellow light, shine with red light. And the white flowers shine with white light. They're all wondrous, fragrant, and pure. Shariputra, the land of utmost happiness is adorned with fine qualities. Shariputra, in that Buddha land there's always celestial music playing, and the ground is paved with gold. 6 times a day a rain of celestial madara flowers falls. Early in the morning,
Beings in this land gather the wondrous flowers in the folds of their robes, and make offerings to trillions of Buddhas in other lands. At mealtime they return, eat their meal and walk in meditation. Shariputra, the land of utmost happiness is adorned with fine qualities. Shariputra, there are also many colorful and wondrous birds in that land. White rays, peacocks, parrots, egrets, calabikas, and birds with 2 heads. 6 times a day, these birds sing in elegant harmony. They proclaim the teachings, such as the 5 spiritual faculties, the 5 strengths, the 7 factors of awakening, and the Noble Eightfold Path. When the beings of this land hear these birds sing, they grow mindful of the Buddha, mindful of the Dharma, and mindful of the Sangha. Shariputra, do not say these birds has been born to their misdeeds, and why in the land of 3 paths of misery do not exist. Even the names of these paths are unknown there. Rather, Buddha Amitabha creates these birds by transformation, so the Dharma can be widely heard. Shariputra, in the Buddha land a gentle breeze blows and rows of true trees and junets, making wondrous sounds. It is of hundreds of thousands of musical instruments well played in harmony. All those who hear these sounds naturally grow mindful of the Buddha, mindful of the Dharma, and mindful of the Sangha. Shariputra, this Buddha land is adorned with fine qualities. Shariputra, why is the Buddha named Amitabha? The Buddha's boundless light shone to all lands throughout the 10 directions. Nothing can obstruct it. That is why he is called Amitabha. Shariputra, the Buddha's life and the lives of the beings of his land last through infinite many Asamkhya kalpas. That is why this Buddha is also called Amitayus. 10 great kalpas have already gone by since he became a Buddha. Shariputra, among the disciples of this Buddha, there are infinitely many hearers of the teaching. All of them are huts. Their numbers are beyond counting. The Bodhisattva's assembly also uncountable. Shariputra, the Buddha land is adorned with its fine qualities. Shariputra, beings who are born in the land of utmost happiness will never retreat on the path of awakening. Many will become Buddhas in their next life. Their numbers are beyond counting, and one can only speak of them as limitless, boundless, and incountable. Shariputra, beings who hear of this should vow to be born there, and join with these good people. Shariputra, beings with few blessings, virtues, and roots of goodness, cannot be born there. Therefore, Shariputra, good men and women who hear about Buddha Amitabha should always hold his name with no other thoughts. By doing this for 1 day, 2 days, 3 or 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, or as long as 7 days, when they approach the end of their lives, Buddha Amitabha will appear in front of them, together with gathering of sages. When their lives come to an end, these people's minds will be clear, and they will be born in Buddha Amitabha's land of utmost happiness. Shariputra, because I have seen these good results, I want you to know about them. All who hear what is said should make a vow to be born in that land. Putra, just like now, praising conceivable merit and virtue of Buddha Amitabha. In the world beyond there, Buddha Akshobhya, Buddha Sumeru banner, Buddha great Sumeru, Buddha Sumeru's light, Buddha wondrous voice, and others such as these, as many as the grains of sand in the Ganges, each of them in his own land, shows the hallmark of wide a long tongue, that covers a large billion world system, and he speaks these truthful words. All you living beings should believe in this sutra. Call praise the inconceivable qualities of this Buddha land, and protection and care of all Buddhas. Shariputra, in the worlds to the south, there Buddha light of the sun and moon, Buddha light of renown, Buddha great blazing shoulders, Buddha lamp of Sumeru, Buddha limitless vigor, and others such as these, as many as the grains of sand in the Ganges, each of them in his own land, shows the hallmark of wide and long tongue, that covers a large billion world system, and he speaks these truthful words. All you living beings should believe in this sutra. Call praise the inconceivable qualities of this Buddha land, and protection and care of all Buddhas. Shariputra, in the worlds to the west, there Buddha limitless lifespan, Buddha limitless hallmarks, Buddha infinite banner, Buddha great light, Buddha great brilliance, Buddha treasure hallmarks, Buddha light of purity, and others such as these, as many as the grains of sand in the Ganges, each of them in his own land, shows the hallmark of wide and long tongue, that covers a large billion world system, and he speaks these truthful words. All living beings should believe in this sutra. Call praise the inconceivable qualities of this Buddha land, and protection and care of all Buddhas. Shariputra, in the worlds to the north, there Buddha blazing shoulders, Buddha excellent voice, Buddha invulnerable, Buddha born of the sun, Buddha nets of light, and others such as these, as many as the grains of sand in the Ganges, each of them in his own land, shows the hallmark of wide and long tongue, that covers a large billion world system, and he speaks these truthful words. All you living beings should believe in this sutra. Call praise the inconceivable qualities of this Buddha land, and protection and care of all Buddhas. Shariputra, in the worlds below, there Buddha lion, Buddha renown, Buddha light of renown, Buddha Dharma, Buddha Dharma banner, Buddha Dharma practice, and others such as these, as many as the grains of sand in the Ganges, each of them in his own land, shows the hallmark of wide and long tongue, that covers large billion world system, as he speaks these truthful words. All living beings should believe in this sutra. Call praise the inconceivable qualities of this Buddha land, and protection and care of all Buddhas. Shariputra, in the worlds above, there Buddha Brahma voice, Buddha king of constellations, Buddha superior fragrance, Buddha light and fragrance, Buddha great blazing shoulders, Buddha body adorned with colorful jewel flowers, Buddha, king of salutaries, Buddha, jewel flower of virtue, Buddha, revealing all meanings, and Buddha like Mount Sumeru, and others such as these, as many as the grains of sand in the Ganges, each of them in his own land, chose the harmonica wide a long tongue, that covered a large billion-word system, and he speaks these truthful words. All living beings should believe in this sutra, corporate the inconceivable qualities of this Buddha land, and protection and care of all Buddhas. Shariputra, what do you think?
Why is this sutra called the protection and care of all Buddhas?
Shariputra, the Buddhas will protect and keep in mind. Any man or woman who hears this sutra, accepts it and upholds it, who hears the name of all these Buddhas, they will never retreat on the path to unsurpassed perfect awakening. Therefore, Shariputra, all of you should believe and accept my words, what all our Buddhas teach. Shariputra, people already made the vow to be born in Buddha Amitabha's land, or who will not make that vow, or who will make that vow, all are certain to never retreat on the path to unsurpassed perfect awakening, and will be born, or now be born, have already been born in that land. Therefore, Shariputra, good men and good women who have faith, should make the vow, I'll be born in that land. Shariputra, just like now praise the inconceivable merit and virtue of all these Buddhas, they also praise my inconceivable merit and virtue, saying Buddha Shakyamuni does what is difficult to do, especially in the Saha world during evil time, the five turbidities, the turbidity of the kappa, the turbidity of wrong views, the turbidity of afflictions, the turbidity of living beings, the turbidity of lifespans. Amid all these, Buddha Shakyamuni has realized unsurpassed perfect awakening, and for the sake of living beings, he explains this teaching, which beings in the world find hard to believe. Shariputra, you should know that during the evil time of the five turbidities, I have done what is hard to do. I realized unsurpassed perfect awakening, and for all beings I explain this teaching, which is difficult to believe. This is truly difficult. When the Buddha had finished teaching this sutra, Shariputra and the bhikshus, as well as the Buddhas, humans, asuras, and others, rejoiced, believed, and accepted what they had heard. They bowed in reverence and departed. And of the sutra of the Buddha's teaching on Amitabha.
Namo Amitabha ye do do je do ye do ri ye amiri do bo bi amiri do di dam bo amiri do bi jaran di amiri do bi jaran chemiri je no je do jari zabo Namo Amitabha ye do je do ye do di ye Amiri do bo bi amiri do si dan bo amiri do bi jaran di amiri do bi jaran Gemini chechen no je do jari zobo Namo Amitabha ye do je do ye do ri ye Bobi amiri do si dan bobi amiri do bi jaran amiri do bi jaran do gemiri jeje no je do jari so po. Mokshan offering. Wishing now to understand all the Buddhas of the three times, contemplate the Dharma realm. All things are created from mind. Wishing now to understand all the Buddhas of the three times, contemplate the Dharma realm. All things are created from mind, wishing now to understand. All the Buddhas of the three times, contemplate the Dharma realm. All things are created from mind. Angela Diaz Zambo, Angela Diaz Zambo, Angela Diaz Zambo. Namo Bumbo Diri Jeri Dari Dando Yedo Ye. Namo Bumbo Diri Jeri Dari Dando Yedo Ye. Namo Bumbo Diri Jeri Dari Dando Yedo Ye. Anzandola Jedo Zambo. Anzandola Jedo Zambo. Anzandola Jedo Zambo. Namo Buddha's Flower Garden Sutra of the Great Expanded Teachings. Namo Buddha's Flower Garden Sutra of the Great Expanded Teachings. Namo Buddha's Flower Garden Sutra of the Great Expanded Teachings. Namo Buddhas of the Ten Directions dwelling for all time. Namo Dharma of the Ten Directions dwelling for all time. Namo Sangha of the Ten Directions dwelling for all time. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha, founding teacher of a soul. Namo Bodhisattva of compassion, Vanshin. Namo Restore Bodhisattva, who rescued those alive and dead. Namo Honor One Ananda, who stated all the teachings. Namo Buddhas of the Ten Directions dwelling for all time. Namo Dharma of the Ten Directions dwelling for all time. Namo Sangha of the Ten Directions dwelling for all time. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha, founding teacher of us all. Namo Bodhisattva of compassion, questioning. Namo Restore Bodhisattva, who rescues those alive and dead. Namo Honor One Ananda, who stated all the teachings. Namo Buddhas of the Ten Directions dwelling for all time. Namo Dharma of the Ten Directions dwelling for all time. Namo Sangha of the Ten Directions dwelling for all time. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha, founding teacher of us all. Namo Bodhisattva of compassion, questioning. Sattva, who rescued those alive and dead. Namo Honor One Ananda, who stated all the teachings. We take refuge with the Buddha, we take refuge with the Dharma, we take refuge with the Sangha, we take refuge with the Buddha, under us the doubly perfect one. We take refuge with the Dharma, under teaching us to end desire. We take refuge with the Sangha, under among all the multitudes. Now we've taken refuge with the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. We take refuge with the Buddha. We take refuge with the Dharma. We take refuge with the Sangha. We take refuge with the Buddha, under us the doubly perfect one. We take refuge with the Dharma, honor teaching us to end desire. We take refuge with the Sangha, honor among all the multitudes. Now we've taken refuge with the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. We take refuge with the Buddha. We take refuge with the Dharma. We take refuge with the Sangha. We take refuge with the Buddha, under us the doubly perfect one. We take refuge with the Dharma, honor teaching us to end desire. Sangha, honor among all the multitudes. Now we've taken refuge with the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. Put this karma done by body, speech, and mind. Through the craving, anger, and delusion from beginner's time. Put this now, repented all of this. Sentient beings, karma done by body, speech, and mind. Through the craving, anger, and delusion from beginner's time. Sentient beings now repented all of this. Lonely spirits, karma done by body, speech, and mind. Through that craving, anger, and delusion from beginner's time. Lonely spirits now repented all of this. Countless beings I now vow to save. Limitless afflictions I now vow to end. Boundless dharmas I now vow to learn. Peerless Buddhahood I vow to realize. Countless beings I now vow to save. Limitless afflictions I now vow to end. Boundless dharmas I now vow to learn. Peerless Buddhahood I vow to realize. Countless beings I now vow to save. Limitless afflictions I now vow to end. Boundless dharmas I now vow to learn. Peerless Buddhahood I vow to realize. Beings of my nature I now vow to save. All afflictions of my nature I now vow to end. Dharmas of my nature I now vow to learn. Buddhahood my nature I now vow to realize.
Beings of my nature
I now vow to save. All afflictions of my nature I now vow to end. Dharmas of my nature I now vow to learn. Buddhahood my nature I now vow to realize. Beings of my nature I now vow to save. All afflictions of my nature I now vow to end. Dharmas of my nature I now vow to learn. Buddhahood my nature I now vow to realize. Ambola morin dorin zambo. Ambola morin dorin zambo. Ambola morin dorin zambo. Anaru raji zambo. Anaru raji zambo. Anaru raji zambo. Ambumbodiri jedori dando yedoye. Ambumbodiri jedori dando yedoye. Ambumbodiri jedori dando yedoye. Azameye zadoan. Azameye zadoan. Azameye zadoan. Namo zawa dando yedo. Water to the azambalai zambalayo. Namo Zawadando Yedo, water to the Azambalai, Sambalayo. Namo Zawadando Yedo, water to the Azambalai, Sambalayo. Namo Zulu Yedando Yedo, Yedardida, Zulu Zulu. Bolai Zulu, Zambo. Namo Zulu Ye. Nando yedo ye dartida zolo zolo bolai zolo zambo namo zolo boye nando yedo ye dartida zolo zolo bolai zolo zambo wan 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 namo zanmando modona namo zanmando modona namo zanmando modona namo many josa dagada namo pila josa dagada namo wonders from the dagada namo fast expensive from Tathagata. Namo far from fear Tathagata. Namo Siddhi King Tathagata. Namo Amitabha Tathagata. Namo many Jews Tathagata. Namo fearless Jews Tathagata. Namo wonders from Tathagata. Namo fast expensive from Tathagata. Namo far from fear Tathagata. Namo Siddhi King Tathagata. Namo Lamitandan Dagata, Namo Many Josa Dagata, Namo Peerless Jorda Dagata, Namo Wonders from Tathagata, Namo Vast Expensive from Tathagata, Namo Far from Fear Tathagata, Namo Sweet Dear King Tathagata, Namo Amitabha
Amindandagada, may these mantras bless the purest Dharma book,
giving to all Buddhists many as the Genji said. May they be content with no single degree, swiftly leaving darkness born and the pure
land,
taking refuge with the three, just bringing forth the Bodhi mind, ultimately realizing and serve as awakening. May their merit and their virtue be unbounded for all time, sharing with all Buddhist offerings of Dharma. May these mantras bless these gifts of Dharma. Feed to all sentient beings, many as the Genji said. May they be content with no single degree, swiftly leaving darkness born and the pure land, taking refuge with the three, just bringing forth the Bodhi mind, ultimately realizing and serve as awakening. May their merit and their virtue be unbounded for all time, sharing with all sentient beings offerings of Dharma. May these mantras bless these droplets of sweet dew, giving to all lonely spirits many as the Genji sends. May they be content, renouncing all degree, swiftly leaving darkness born in the pure land, taking refuge with the three, just bring thee for the Bodhi mind, ultimately realizing and surpass awakening. May their merit and their virtue be unbounded for all them, sharing with all lonely spirits offerings of Dharma food. To you many faithful Buddhists, when now make this offering, may this food pervade and quarters all of faithful Buddhists share. We now dedicate this merit to all beings everywhere, giving food to faithful Buddhists, so you realize Buddhahood. To you many sentient beings, we now make this offering. May this food pervade and quarters all sentient beings share. Give this merit to all beings everywhere, giving food to sentient beings, so you realize Buddhahood. To you many lonely spirits, we now make this offering. May this food pervade and quarters all lonely spirits share. We now dedicate this merit to all beings everywhere, giving food to lonely spirits, so you realize Buddhahood. Anmuriri Zabo, Anmuriri, Anmuriri Zabo, Anyenan Zanboa, Pajalayo, Anyenan Zanboa, Pajalayo, Anyenan Zanboa, Pajalayo. The heart of Prajnaparamita Sutra. When Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara was practicing their profound Prajnaparamita, illuminate the five skandhas and saw they are empty, and he crossed beyond all suffering and difficulty. Shariputra, form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. Form itself is emptiness. Emptiness itself is form. So to our fitting cognition, formation, and consciousness. Shariputra, all dharmas are empty of characteristics. They are not produced, not destroyed, not defiled, not pure, and they neither increase nor diminish. Therefore, in emptiness there is no form, feeling, cognition, formation, or consciousness. No eyes, ears, no stone, body, or mind. No signs, sounds, smells, states, objects of touch, or dharmas. No view the eyes only, including no feel of mind consciousness. And no ignorance or ending of ignorance. Up to including all age and death. Ending of all age and death. There is no suffering, no accumulating, no extinction, and no way, and no attaining, because nothing is attained. The Bodhisattva, who runs on Prajnaparamita, is empty in his mind, because there is no impediment, he is not afraid, and he leaves this world dream thinking far behind. Ultimately, Nirvana. All Buddhas of the three periods of time Atenanutarak Samyak Sambodhi, Puranson Prajna Paramita. Therefore know that Prajna Paramita is a great spiritual mantra, a great bright mantra, a supreme mantra, and an equal mantra, can remove all suffering and genuine outfalls. That is why the mantra of Prajna Paramita was spoken. Recite like this: Kata Kata Paragata Parasam. And of the heart of Prajna Paramita Sutra. Namo Amitabha Yeda Jida Yeda Rieda Amitabha Amirido Zidanbo Bi Amirido Bijaran Amirido Bijarando Jemiri Jajano Jido Jari Zambo Namo Amitabha Yeda Jida Yeda Rieda Amirido Bi Amirido Zidanbo Amirido Bijarandi Amirido Bijar
Chemili Jejino
Judo
Juro
Jari Zabo Namo Amidobo Yedodo Jido Dodi Yeda Amirido Bo Amirido Sidanbo Amirido Bijarandi Amirido Bijarando Jemini Jejano Judo Jari Zabo May all the four kinds of beings reach the jewel land, and the beings of all the realms be born from lotus blooms. May all the miracles attain the threefold worthiness, and the countless angel ones ascend the tenth ground. Amitabha's body is the color of gold. The splendor of his armor has no beard. The line of his brow shines round 100 worlds. White as the seas are his eyes, pure and clear. Shining in his brilliant light, transformation are countless bodhisattvas and infinite Buddhas. His 48 vows will be our liberation. In 9 lotus ages we reach the farthest shore. Homage to the Buddha of the Western Pure Land. Guide and compassionate Amitabha. Homage to the Buddha of the Western Pure Land. Kind and compassionate Amitabha. Homage to the Buddha of the Western Pure Land. Kind and compassionate Amitabha. Namo Amitabha. Namo Amitabha. Namo Amitabha. Namo Amitabha. 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 Bowing respect to the Venerable Master. Let's conclude our evening ceremony. In 15 minutes, we're making sure we begin the lecture of Abhidhamsaka Sutra at the same channel. So we can wish you can stay with us. Otherwise, tomorrow we have a morning ceremony and we have a
Daylight savings tomorrow.
Daily savings is tomorrow as well, and we will have a
be earlier an hour.
2 weeks break from our streaming of the ceremonies, and where we start again in the end of the March.
Yeah. So tomorrow morning ceremony will be at 4 a.m. in comparatively to what was before. 1 hour forward. And then we will not be doing evening ceremony online, but we'll start again in late March. Okay, Amitabha.